Now with Terri's hairline, if you can see, her hairline kicks right up into the center and then comes down. So I'm going to cut this side into a V, and this side here I'm going to leave long because I want to do something asymmetrical. So I'm going to start off in the center, and this time I'm going to start on the right hand side. So I'm going to take my section, okay, bring this down, cut right into just below the hairline. Okay, so all of that just moves over into the center. Bring the next section down, cut it to exactly the same length. With a lot of tension. Okay, so that that moves over into the center. Okay, then to do my layering, okay, fingers pointing downwards, I've got my guideline here. Cut up. Okay, all the way through. Subdivide following the root system. Okay, just exactly the same technique that I used in the Blueprint DVD, which is the very first DVD that we did. So all of that moves into the center. And take the next section, pull it straight out from the head. Okay, coming around, following the root system. Okay, until I get to right behind the ear. Okay, so all of that now flows in together. And now we can go over to the left-hand side. All right, so now onto the left-hand side. And this is going to be over directed, so I'm using my right hand side as my guideline. Okay, straight out from the head, fingers pointing upwards. Okay, right where you see the hairline change direction, this is where I'm going to start over directing the hair back. Okay, this is not over directed into the center, it's only over directed to the point where the hairline changes direction. All right, so then that comes over like so. Now with the front of Terri's hair, what I want to do is I want to take the fringe all the way back to right behind the ear. Now if you notice, Terri has ears that slightly protrude, like they're not flat. Okay, so, and you know that most clients who have ears that slightly protrude, you know, basically they always ask us to keep the ears covered. The problem is that if I do that, this is exactly what happens. The hair comes down like this, and then the ear pokes this hair out. So it actually accentuates the fact that the ear is not flat against the head. So what I find is, sometimes it's hard to talk the client into it, but to have the hair so that it totally clears the ear completely, okay? And then what will happen is when I blow it dry, this will fill out. And then the ear doesn't look like it's protruding as much. So I always try to get my clients, if their ears are protruding from the head, to have the hair cut right around the ear so that literally the whole of the ear is exposed, and then the ear doesn't show as much. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an asymmetrical fringe, okay? And because this is right against the hairline here, I'm going to hold this between my fingers and cut. And then once I get into the fringe area, then I'm going to hold this, I'm going to cut this against the skin, okay? Okay, so the fringe is all going to be cut blunt, and it's all going to be cut one length. So the system that I'm going to be using is going to be the third system in the blueprint, which is the one length. So everything that I mentioned when I do a one length haircut, whether it's, you know, down here or just underneath the ear, or where we're going to be doing it into the hairline, I still have to do the same thing, follow the root system. So I'm going to take my parting here. My parting is going to be parallel to the line that I'm going to cut into the hair. I'm going to lift this hair up, hold it between my fingers, and I'm going to cut with my fingers resting right against the client's head. Okay, I'm going to comb that to see how that falls. Needs just a little bit off. There. Take my next section, bring it down, hold the hair between my fingers. Lots of tension. Okay, because the more tension I give the hair, then the cleaner the line is going to be. Combing the hair, following the root system, just the same way as I did in the third system on the blueprint DVD. Fingers against the head. Okay, and now I can go into the fringe section. So now with the fringe section, I'm going to part the hair off parallel with the hairline. Come down, cutting right against the skin. Take the next section. Hair down. Right against the skin, and then the last section here. All right, now I'm on the right hand side again. The parting is parallel. Put your head down, Terri. Parting is parallel with the hairline. This is so important, all right, so that it gives you a complete section of hair. Okay, and then cutting right against the skin. Okay, even when you come to the eye, just cut right against the skin. Next section, bring it down, follow the root system, So important. If you don't follow, or if I don't follow the root system, then I'm going to get way too much graduation running through the ends. And then the last section. Okay, and the thing that I have to remember when I'm cutting a fringe is like straight, or I always cut in straight lines. I don't cut in curves, okay? Because you can see a straight line on a curved surface actually will give you the curve that you want. So I don't feel like I have to go in and do that kind of thing. Just bring it down, cut it into a point, and then the roundness of the head will give you the shape that I want. So now what we'll do is we'll blow dry and then we'll look at the finished result. Alright, now that we've finished blowing dry, you can see how really nicely this hairline now works, okay? And you know, we've left out some fringes here, but it all comes through, okay? Blends in really nicely on the long side. And here, you can see what I was talking about, okay? Now that we have blown the hair dry, you see the ear becomes less conspicuous because this hair now has filled out, okay? Our asymmetrical fringe comes all the way through really nicely, okay? We have just a little corner there that we can take off. But you see, I've done it so that it really balances. We've got the short hairline on the right hand side, the long hairline on the left hand side, which balances out with the long fringe on the right hand side. And so now I think we're ready to see the finished result.